Hi, Bree.
Hey, hello
Welcome back
everyone.
to Sandy
Sandy
Cooch
Cooch,
Podcast.
best
I bet you missed
podcast.
us. We have returned with our headphones on, a la Addison
Mm,
Rae, in order
yes,
to discuss the most important thing which has happened in pop culture in the past decade, which is
heated rivalry.
Heated
Woo.
Rivalry. It's
It's
changed our
really
lives. It's probably changed your life.
probably most likely, and if it hasn't, why? Get on it. Oh,
Okay, Bree,
yeah.
tell us about what Heated Rivalry is.
Okay, well, if you have not watched it, that's unfortunate for you. So we'll give you a little bit of a spoiler-free introduction to the show. I mean, it's basically, gay hockey. That's
Mm.
all.
It is indeed gay hockey.
It's like it's like probably 90% hockey, or no, sorry, wrong.
90%
Gay.
gay,
10% hockey.
10% hockey.
So basically, the premise, so the show came out over what, like Christmassy time, or maybe I think it
I think
released earlier in
Thanksgiving.
Canada. But then it came to HBO because it was such a hit. This show is based off of books. The Game Changer series by Rachel Reid. I was at a Soul Cycle class today that was Heated Rivalry themed, which was amazing. And this guy next to me was like, "Oh my God, have you watched the show?" I was like, "Well, yes, of course.
Obviously, I'm
Watched it, have
here.
read all the books, like watched multiple times. Like, of course." I was like, "You have to watch it." And he's like, "Oh, I hear it's like really hot and sexy." And I was like, "Well, yes,
It
it
is indeed
is.
very
Like,
hot and sexy.
um, you really
The
should get on reading
They
it."
filmed it in Canada, this production company Crave. I heard that
Mm-hmm.
the creator, Jacob Tierney, was like trying to get it picked up by an American production company, and they didn't
Mm-hmm.
want the two main characters to kiss until episode 5, and he was like, that's not gonna work for me, we'll make it in Canada.
That's just idiotic.
So they made
Yeah.
it for like 17 US dollars, and then the
Yeah.
day before it was supposed to get released, like by Crave, HBO picked it up, and the chairman and CEO of HBO said, I was actually really shocked that no one had picked it up yet, because when somebody says there's a gay hockey show with explicit sex scenes, you go, great, I want to look at that. And I think that that is just like very true. I do want to look at that, and I did and have looked at it, and I will continue to enjoy looking at it.
Yeah, it's really quite quality TV. And it's not even just like for the girls and the gays. Like everybody's watching this.
Everyone
Everybody's
loves it.
loving it. And it's like just quality TV. This Jacob guy, I think he's done like a bunch of shows in the Canada, also like American, so puritanical. Like what the hell? No kissing before episode 5? That's
I know,
ridiculous.
their homophobia.
Like what the hell is
The
that?
So the show follows two men, Ilya Rozanov, a Russian kind of bad boy, intense hockey player, and Shane Hollander, who is a Canadian kind of like how would you describe Shane? Like good boy. That
Button
sounds
up,
weird.
classic good guy, I would
Like you're
say, like really
Canadian, like
rule follower,
heart
button
of,
up, stickler for
what's
the
it
rules.
called?
Yeah, very
Heart
anxious
of
boy.
Gold, Anxious
Yes.
Boy Shane, and they
Mm-hmm.
are
Mm-hmm.
kind of been pitted against each other their whole careers as kind of the two best hockey players, not only in the league but like playing today. And so
Yeah.
they have this like kind of media built rivalry between them, and yet the whole time they've known each other, they have had this kind of obsession with each other, which leads to a mutually secretive relationship made up of fucking, and
Mm-hmm.
later kind of a slow burn to romance. It's very romantic, very cute. And the two leads, Ilya and Shane, are played by Connor Story and Hudson Williams, respectively, who were both previously unknown actors, although Connor Story was in Joker Folie à Deux, which,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
sorry, no one saw that movie, so
Yeah, no, quite a flop.
that's
Apparently, he
that's why
kills
no
the
one
guy
knows who
in
he
it.
is. He
He's
apparently
got a
is the
big role,
Joker,
apparently, and then no one saw the movie. So
but
it's
no one
like
saw that, so none of us knew who they were.
no, and thankful for it. Like it's good. This is my first,
This is how we
dip
learn
into the
about
Connor
them.
story pool and all that ass.
And they are both beautiful, pure of heart, and really just incredible actors. Connor Story learned a lot of Russian for the role, has an
Mm-hmm.
incredible performance. We thought he was Russian. He is from Texas, so
Yeah.
pretty far from Russia. Yeah, and it feels like everyone in America has seen the show, maybe everyone in the world. The TikTok edits, wow, that's all I can say.
Yeah, very cute, romance, and it starts out very hot and heavy, but once you get past like episode 3, well, no, episode 3, it's like changes tone. It's like, okay, now we're being a little bit more romantic. We get into more of the drama, the unrequitedness of their love, the um tension of not being able to be with each other because Ilya is obviously Russian. He and apparently the Russians are not very friendly to the gay community. I did look it up. It is not illegal to be gay. Or they
But was
outlawed that
it
sometime.
in 2008?
But no, it was
Oh,
still legal even then. I think it was like sometime in the 1990s or something, I think, when they legalized it. It might have been like 70s actually. I don't remember exact dates, but obviously Russian, obviously a little bit of authoritarian government. Not that we're saying, we're not headed that way ourselves, but
what would we
so
know
they
about
can they
that?
can kind of do whatever, even though their laws say, it's not illegal, but like, especially if you're like very open about it or like doing anything in public. So I could see where it would be like, oh, if this like famous Russian hockey player is like, oh, I'm gay, and then everybody knows that, then it'd be like, well, we can arrest you for that because you're
Mm.
exhibiting it. So I understand that. So, anyways, that's a big issue that creates tension in the show.
They also are
They
both
have a lot.
obviously playing in the NHL, or in the show
Yes.
it's called the MHL, which is like
No, it's
hockey
called
is
MLH,
historically, oh my God, sorry.
Major League
Hockey
Hockey.
in hockey, they are all using slurs on the ice all the time, and
Hmm.
there are no out players. There are out players in the real NHL, but
No, there's not.
no, one guy came out, I read
Nope.
online.
He
Okay,
wasn't
I'm
in the
wrong.
NHL at the time. No NHL
Mm,
player has ever been gay out
period.
while in
Well,
the NHL.
exactly. So that's why another reason they
Hmm.
can't come out. And our Canadian dear friend Shane, it's not like explicitly stated, but struggles with autism, and so he has a very difficult time like accessing his emotions already. It takes him about 10 years of sleeping with Ilya to realize that he's even gay. So, the boys are having a hard time communicating. They're sporty, they're Russian, they're autistic, and yet their love story is able to blossom.
Through
Yeah,
a mutual
through
love of hockey
adversity.
and understanding and sex. So, as it should.
It's very romantic, very sexy. If you haven't read the book, we would obviously recommend it. We both read the book before
Hmm.
allowing ourselves to indulge in the show. Also, the book series is called The Game Changers, and the book Game Changers is about Scott and Kip, Scott Hunter, who is a hockey player for the New York team. And the third episode, like Brianna said, is kind of a tonal shift where it becomes more romantic and like story driven rather than the smut that we've been able to enjoy in episode 1 and 2. And that episode follows their story, which is book 1, Game Changers. Episodes 1,
Yes.
2, 4, 5, 6 follow Shane and Ilya's story. Book 2, Heated Rivalry.
Yeah.
However, there are 6 books in the series, and the 5th or 6th book is also about Shane and Ilya, called The Long Game. The show's already been picked up for season 2, which we assume will follow that. And Rachel Reid is releasing a new book in September, the 3rd installment in the Shane and Ilya storyline, which we are basically dying to get to read.
Yeah, no, it's very exciting. Can't wait for that book number 7. Finished the last book, and I was just like, what do I do with my life now? Like, I rewatched the show, obviously, but now it's like nothing I pick up really is as engaging as these books. Like, nothing is like I was ripping through these books. Like, I mean, I guess I am a fast reader, but this was even next
I like
level. I was staying up
couldn't
late, like,
talk to anyone. I had to be reading it
yeah.
at all
I'd be
times.
like, I have to finish this book. Like, I don't care. I have work tomorrow morning. I will be up till 3 in the morning to finish this book. It's okay. Like, we'll make it work.
I was finished like the second to last book, and then I read probably hundreds of thousands of words of Shane and Ilya fan fiction before finishing the last book because I just like wasn't ready for it to be over. And now that I've read all 6 books and most of the fan fictions available on AO3.com and watched the show 3 full times straight through, I just don't know what to do with myself.
It's fair. Yeah, me neither. It's like, yeah, nothing's hitting the same. Reading other things, it's just not grabbing my attention. But I guess we can go into more of a breakdown of, moments in the show and spoileries, talking about the other books. So if you haven't
So
read
if
it
you
or
haven't read,
watched,
get out of here, girl.
skip a little
Go
ahead. We'll
watch.
probably be here until like the 50-minute mark. So, skip ahead. Go listen there. Go watch, go read, come back. Talk
So we'll start,
all things game changers with us.
indeed. We'll start with episode 1, which is our introduction to our sweet, sweet boys, Shane and Ilya. I do think if you haven't read the books and you watch the show, first of all, like, the books is from their point of view, so it's easy to understand their decisions. If you're watching just the show, it's kind of harder to like perceive their emotional drives, which I think is mostly bad for Ilya's character. I think he comes off as like more mean. A lot of my friends were texting me like, Ilya's being so mean to Shane, and I was like, no, like, he's misunderstood. You don't understand what he's going through.
Yeah.
Because reading in the book, it's
Yeah.
like you really understand all of their choices, even when it's like not ideal for each other, because you're following their trains of thought. So if you didn't
Yeah.
read the book and you watched the show and felt that way, we would just recommend go ahead and read it to know where they're coming
Yeah.
from.
Well, I mean, perhaps people need to have better media literacy because
Mm,
it's like, watch the show and you see our
yeah,
boy is putting up defenses, like, and has reasons he's mean,
I
like
agree. Also,
classic mean,
people are like
defensive boy.
confused about what is happening in the sex scenes because like you can't see their penises, obviously. And I'm like, how are you confused? Like the
Yeah, it's
camera
pretty
work and like
obvious.
their eyes and hands, like,
Uh,
baby, pay a little bit of
Again,
attention.
I think yeah, the Netflix call out that everybody's on their phones while they watch stuff. I was not for this, glued to my
Mm-mm.
eyes glued to the screen. But yeah, listen to this podcast of these straight men watching this. Empty Netters. Hudson called this out on the Fallon show, and then I was like, well, I will be watching that. And they all understood what was happening. So I think
Right.
the people just
Like if you're watching, you'll
are
get it.
struggling. Yeah, like just watch the show. I think it's pretty easy to understand. Sometimes they were a bit confused, these straight men, and they're like, "Oh, what is happening there? Are they doing like rimming? Is there ass eating happening?" But then the commenters would help figure the
Would help
things
them
out for
out.
them. So,
Episode
but
1
yeah.
starts in 2008, I believe. They're Shane and
Yes.
Ilya first meeting in Saskatchewan,
Mm-hmm.
shouted out by Chapel Roan. Is the only other knowledge I have of Saskatchewan.
Yeah. They were at the
Their
junior hockey tournament
International
championship
Prospect
finals,
Cup.
something. We don't know much about hockey. From this show, I have learned zero facts about hockey. I did go ahead and watch one video about how hockey works, and it starts out and it's like, well, we all know it's three periods with
Of 20
20 minutes, and
minutes.
I was like, well, actually, I did not
No,
even
we
know
do
that. So
not.
you really will learn nothing about hockey if that's what you're coming for the show. It's not going to tell you anything about that.
I have learned way more
But
about hockey from the fan fictions I've read than the 6 novels about hockey that I
yeah,
did consume. I
only
had to
thing I know
Google
is
a
that
lot of
there's face-offs.
questions. Oh,
That's
yeah.
it.
And, like, are they always the same 2 people in real life? I don't think
No.
so, right?
Well, but also it's not in the show either. Apparently there's like lines. So you have your
3 people on
first
a line. You have
three
your centers
people
and
are
your
in the
left and
line. Yep,
right.
center, left, right wing, that's your line. And then you have your two defensive men and then the goalie. That's how many people play at a time. And you switch out the line people a lot. Like that's why there's like, and you'll have like 4 depth charts of line people. So there's be like, 12 people on the line. And then there's, I think, 2
Hmm.
backup defensemen. Look at me learning things. And then I
But
was
if you
watching
watch
this
the
hockey
show,
video.
every
No, you
face-off is
won't
going to
learn
go
that.
ahead and be Shane and Ilya. So,
Yeah.
as it
Yeah.
should be. That's what
Also,
that's what
we
the girls
only
want to
pay
see.
attention to the gay hockey players and all of the hockey or like captains of these teams we follow
Are
gay,
gay.
which we love. Like,
If you see a
um,
hockey player, camera on their face, that's a gay man.
yeah, no, I
Also,
gonna say,
if they mention a hockey player by first and last name, that's gonna go ahead and be a gay man as well.
yeah, I was watching that video and I was like, actually, it kind of seems interesting. And I was like, I cannot get into another sport. Like, do not, Brianna, do not fall down this rabbit hole. And the
Something
Empty
that
Netters
I
podcast,
learned,
I was like, oh, maybe it's
this is what I
interesting.
learned about hockey from the fan fictions I've been reading. There's
Mm,
a thing called a penalty kill, which is if one
mm,
of your players like gets in a fight and the ref calls them out, they go in a penalty box. Then what happens next is a power play, which means one team, the team that has a player on penalty, has
mm-hmm,
only 4 or 5 instead of, it's usually the goalie is 1 and then there's 5 guys, right? So
mm-hmm.
they only have 4
Yes,
guys on the ice that
yes.
aren't the goalie, and the other team has 5. So it's called a power play because they have an extra one. And so
Mm,
this is a spoiler, but in like after the long game, so after the second book about Shane and Ilya, they finally are on a team together and
mm-hmm,
they play the same position, which is center. And so they're like, oh, like we're not going to be on a line together, but they're like, we'll be on power play together. So when they're like attacking the other
mm.
team because they have a penalty kill, they get to play together. So I did learn about that. Thank you.
Interesting,
Hmm.
interesting. Okay,
It
very
is a bit
excited to see
interesting.
that.
Luckily, I am not like I don't really get into sports, so I'm not worried
No, she
about that.
doesn't. I have a I can get easily hyperfixated on something and then I will fall down a rabbit hole into that. Hence why I am now obsessed with F1. So I could really see myself doing that, but I'm gonna try to resist because I just don't want to be into another sport. I can't keep up with them all. And hockey is a
Something
lot. They
scary
like play
happened to
all the
me.
time.
Something scary happened to me, which is like I was running on a treadmill at the gym and there was a hockey game on. And so I like was looking at the screen because at first I thought it was Heated Rivalry because it looked like they were gonna kiss, but it was just regular hockey players. But then it was the New York team versus the Boston team, and I was like, that's Scott Hunter's team and Ilya Rosanov's
Yeah,
team, and those
so
are my
wild.
friends, so I have to
Yeah.
watch. And I accidentally watched it for like 15 minutes, which is so unlike me. Like, I can't even look at a sport being played. So that's a little scary that it's infiltrating my brain that much.
Yeah, no, we'll see. Hopefully I don't get into hockey. I can't afford to. Too much of my life is already taken up by sports.
Mm.
Mostly on Sundays though, so it's okay. I keep my sports relegated to Sunday. That's why I can't watch basketball. It also comes on like whenever, so can't do that. Except Dallas's team apparently is good in the hockey right now, so I was like, oh well,
Oh.
perfect opportunity to be interested. But no, I
I
can't
don't.
resist.
Is
Dallas
Dallas in
Stars,
the
which is a cool
Western
name.
League?
I think so. I think it would be.
Because Nashville is in the Eastern League, I learned from the Ryan
Yeah.
Price book.
Yeah, I think I mean, it's not that like far, It's not like I think based on like location very much. It's just based on
Yeah, it's
like
just like split in
proximity.
half, kind of. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
And based on like how many teams they need on each side, probably.
if we say something wrong about hockey, that's fine for us to do, by the
Yeah,
way. We don't know
can't.
about hockey. We know about
No.
Shane and Ilya.
Facts. Experts, really.
Yeah, so anyway, episode 1, we meet Shane and Ilya. Well, we see them meet each other as well in Saskatchewan. Shane seeks out Ilya to introduce himself because they are the two most talked about players, like the two most talked about rookies, I guess, in the game. And he's like, hey, nice to meet you. Like, I'm Shane. You're a super cool player to watch. And Ilya kind of comes off as like very cocky asshole, but also he barely speaks English at this point, so it's really not his fault. And he says, yes,
Exactly.
indeed, I am a good player to watch. I can't wait to beat you.
Mm-hmm.
And in the book, Shane tells his parents, like, he's kind of an asshole, but he's actually just misunderstood. To
Mm-hmm.
me, Ilya is not an asshole. I love that boy.
I never even, well, I guess I did read the books first, but I don't even think I picked up on him being an asshole in the books ever. It's like he's just a freaking player, like playing against another
Yeah,
team. I guess also perhaps your friends are not in the sports world, so it's like, yeah, you're not like nice to your rivals. Like
right.
they're the other team member, like I'm not gonna be nice to this guy
Yeah, it didn't come off as like asshole-ish to me.
when I
And
first
also,
meet them.
even like in his interactions with Shane, he's not like mean to Shane ever. He'll be like
No.
teasing, but it's like hot.
Exactly. And he has like a reputation in the whole league. Throughout the books, we see this, like that he's like a bit of an asshole and will be like really mouthy, talk to,
Yeah, they call it
get people pissed
chirping. Like
off.
he's always
Yeah,
chirping at
chirping.
people.
Which, like, yeah, that's just like what people do in sports. So I'm like, yeah, I mean, I guess. But I mean, that's just normal, I feel. So I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, there's gonna be guys like that, yeah,
They meet and then they play the game. By the way, in the whole, it's a 6-episode show. There's maybe 2 minutes and 30 seconds of hockey on your screen.
Yeah.
So you're not going to see
Hardly any
much.
hockey. These
They
empty netter men
play.
are like, yeah, no, this is not a hockey show, really. It's just a romance show. Backdrop is hockey.
Ilya wins, or Russia, sorry, beats Canada in the International Prospect Cup. And then, is it that night that they're like on the bikes?
We
Or
skip
that's
forward a
later?
lot in this show. I'm pretty sure that's after the draft or before the draft. Then they get drafted into the NHL. Well, I'll just call it
Ilya,
the
first
NHL because, like, we
pick.
know what we're talking about. Yeah.
Ilya
And then
picked
Shane is
first,
the
Shane
second
picked
pick.
second, which
Yeah.
hurts
Yep.
Shane's
Yep. Yep. Yep.
feelings a lot.
So I think it might be the night before the draft is when they do the little bikey race that they have.
Mm,
Um, or it's the night after the draft. I
I think
can't remember.
after.
Okay, so it's the night after they get
So they
drafted.
have the
And
first International Prospect Cup, Ilya wins. Then it's like 6 months
hmm
later, they get drafted.
yeah.
Then that night, um, they can't sleep, so they both end up going out into the hotel gym and are obviously staying in the same hotel. And in the book, they race on treadmills. In the
hmm
show, they're on like exercise bikes and they're racing, have this like rivalry, this intense, passionate race against each other. Then they're sweating, sitting on the floor, and it gets real so quick. Their eye contact, their
Yeah.
yearning eyes. It's beautiful.
Yeah, very dramatic. Very it's like 2 minutes of them just staring at each other and drinking water. So yeah,
And they
very
like
intense.
they
Anyway.
keep looking at each other's mouths. And their hands
hmm
touch when they pass each other the water bottle that Ilya is sharing with Shane. And in the book, Shane
Yeah.
goes back up to his room and masturbates to
hmm
thinking about Ilya, which Shane at this point believes himself to be straight. Very
Yes.
cool.
Has a girlfriend. It's like, no, I have a girlfriend. It's okay. I wasn't thinking about him.
But
And
he's
we'll
like, my whole
continue. Shane
life,
really,
I'll have to
really trying to
know.
convince
Like,
himself.
yeah, and he's convincing no one except for
Yeah.
himself, I
When I
must
was first
say.
reading the book, I was like, oh, he has a girlfriend, like, and I take notes while I read, and I was like, oh, he has a girlfriend. I wrote down, I was like, okay, bye. Like, I do like have a note section where it's like, okay, traits about the characters, and I was like, bye, Ilya, bye. Soon through reading the book, I was like, I no, he
Cross
does
that out.
not like
Go ahead and
girls.
cross that out.
Does not like the girls at all, actually. Like, we are fooling ourselves.
Then they play
So
like another Prospect Cup, right? And
yes,
Canada
yes, yes,
wins.
and then Shane wins. And
And
then
then they
they
start
are in the
playing in the
NHL.
games. Yeah. So Shane plays for the Montreal Metros. Is that what it's called in the show?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it
And
is.
then Ilya plays for the Boston Raiders. In the book, it's the Boston Bears. And I think the Montreal Voyagers, but it doesn't really matter. Basically, they play for Montreal
Yeah.
and Boston.
This Empty Netter podcast had a very funny idea though that they should have all just been like gay, like name types, like how they call like people bears, which I'm
Twinks.
like, oh, it is. Because they were like, it should have been like Boston Bears and Montreal like otters because that's what like gay men call like types, in the community. And I was like, oh, that
Yeah.
would have been so funny, actually. And then I was like, oh my God, Boston Bears is what it is in the books. Like, I don't know why they didn't keep that. It's so good. So
They
iconic.
couldn't get like the rights to call it the Boston Bears.
Oh, is that the actual name of the team?
I think so, because Jacob Tierney said they couldn't get
No,
the
it's the
rights for
Boston
it.
Bruins.
Well, they couldn't get the
Must
rights
be
for
some
Boston
team. Must be
Bears.
some team has the name of Boston Bears. But that's
Yeah,
interesting that they
because
would let her use it in the books.
well,
Oh, I
she
guess a
calls it the
Bruin is a
NHL
bear.
in the book, and they can't
That
call it
is
that in the
true.
show.
That is true.
In
I guess they care
in
more about a
the
show than a book.
in the book, Ilya has a tattoo of a bear like on his chest, like a big ugly bear apparently, which people are like, oh, because it's the Bears, but he's always like, oh, it's for Russia. But in the show, they didn't give Connor a tattoo. and people were mad about it. And Jacob was the showrunner was like, yeah, well, it's not called the Bears in the show, so like it doesn't even make sense.
Yeah. But also he got it just before he was even a bear, so Jacob.
Right. It doesn't
But
really
it wouldn't
matter.
be a thing, you know. Who really
Anyway,
cares if he's not playing
Boston
for the
and
Bears?
Montreal are apparently like historical rivals and original six
Mm-hmm.
teams, whatever the fuck that means. So this rivalry between Shane and Ilya is also like even bigger due to the specific teams they're on, which makes it harder for them to like have individuality in their relationship with each other. So even if they want to like be friends, it's kind of like this whole thing built up around them that they have no control over, which is
Yeah.
the rivalry of the Heated. What else happens in episode 1 that's important?
Which they do like talk or like it's not very like I feel like much rivalry between the two because obviously we just be
No,
seeing
you
them
never
having
see
sex.
it.
But it's like more about how society has built them up to be such rivals because
Yeah,
they're both
it's like
like
a
the
media
best of their
thing.
age, best of their rookie class, and then they have that historical uh struggle between the two teams, and then they're the both were drafted to those good teams, and they're against each other. Oh, well, obviously. So then they go and it's the summer before they are starting to play in the NHL, and they go through a commercial, which
Mm,
Ilya asked the commercial people, which how did he get the power to do that? But he
no
was
one
like, "Oh, have
knows.
Shane in this commercial too. It's for an endorsement." And Shane's mom probably hopped on that. Yuna
Oh
is
yeah,
our
Yuna is
our
our
hockey
momager.
momager queen and be keeping her son booked and busy.
One thing
So they
about
do this
Shane, you will see
commercial.
him on your TV. Like he's in an ad.
Yes, you will. Every scene, any scene like not with Shane in it, like when we're in Skip storyline, it's like, oh, there's a TV screen. Guess who'll be
There's gonna
on
be
that?
Shane. Billboard,
Shane
Shane.
Hollander will be over there. Anyway, so they're doing this commercial. They have to like skate up to each other and do the face off. And it's very awkward because it's like, okay, we're pretending to do this face off. They're like directors are like, be very intense, be very intense. They're like joking, stupid boys. And then
It's giggles galore.
they finish, and then they go into the locker room, shower, clean up, and then well, we get a great shot of Connor Story's ass.
It's
The
actually
most perfect ass
insane,
I've
you
ever seen in
guys.
my life.
If nothing
He's given
else,
us
go take a look at that scene. It
literally,
will
I
change
keep
your
telling
life.
people, I'm like, it's the only thing that matters, giving everybody body dysmorphia. Like, how does it look so perfect? And then, it gets a little
He
hot and
did.
heavy in the showers
You
because
see,
my guys are looking at each other, and then you see
they're looking back and
Connor,
forth.
Ilya, like, lower his hand to his pelvic region and
Well,
start to move it back and forth.
first you see Ilya kind of look at Shane, and he's looking down, as in he's looking at
Yes,
Shane's penis, which is
yes.
hard at this time. And Shane goes like, "Shut up" or "fuck off" or something like that. He's
Mm-hmm,
embarrassed.
mm-hmm.
He turns away. Ilya, not to be shy about it, he begins
Yes,
to masturbate in the shower, which I think people like
yes.
didn't realize that Shane is hard in this scene. And they're like, why is he
Mm.
just like masturbating in the shower? And it's like he like saw Shane be turned on
Mm-hmm,
by him,
mm-hmm.
and he's like, oh, you think I'm hot? Have a little show.
Yeah. People again, the media
Media literacy.
media literacy is low,
It's
low,
not
low,
round here.
low.
It's not around here.
It's a good thing you have us to explain it all to you. So that kind of leads off from there. They go back into the locker. Shane's getting dressed. Ilya comes out in a towel, and Shane's like, "We like don't talk about it. Like we don't have
It
to
didn't
discuss that
happen.
ever. Like I don't know what that was."
Well, also
And
Shane
Ilya's
leaves the
like,
shower and he's like, not here. Not don't
"Yeah,
do
that is
that.
true.
Not
Well,
fuck
that's
like
why
not
he's like
leave me alone.
masturbating." And it's
Not
like,
round
what?
here.
What?
Then where do you want it?
So then they Shane gives Ilya his room number, and he's like, "Oh well, like maybe I'll knock," and he's like,
Well,
"Maybe I'll
Ilya is
let you
like,
in."
what's your room number? And Shane tells him immediately, 1410.
Yeah.
Not even a hesitation there.
Well, yes. Well, yes, our boy
So
has been thinking about this.
then we see
Um.
Shane getting ready in his room, and he's so nervous to have a boy over. He first puts on a
Mhm.
suit and tie and is standing in the mirror like, what the fuck am I doing? Which is one of the funniest scenes in the entire show. It's like,
Yeah,
Shane,
it's
we gotta pull it together,
quite the
babe.
representation of Shane as a character, which we love. Then Ilya, shows up. Shane does change out of said suit, normal clothes, like a, casual,
Normal boy.
casual guy waiting for his booty call to show up at his door. And he does in fact let him in when he knocks. And instant door blowy. Shane is
Mm-hmm.
down there. Shane, very eager to please, and also loves
Straight
a challenge.
Shane who
So,
believes himself to be straight, on his knees immediately, mouth in with another
Also,
man's cock in it.
first encounter with a man, like no talking. Well, I mean, I guess this is how it is with men, but like
On his
really
knees.
instant. But also, like for your first time, really, he's just,
He
I'm
was right
going,
there.
I'm doing this. It's like okay, very confident. We love Shane.
We love them both.
Then we get more. They go to the bed. Shane finishes what he's doing for Ilya, and then Ilya's like, okay, thanks, that was
Bye.
fun, goodbye. And he's like, fine. Shane is so offended. He's like, you're just gonna leave me like that? And then he's like, you think I'm asshole?
I
And
know you
he's
are,
like, yeah, you're
asshole.
an asshole. And then
I would
Ilya's
not
like,
leave
let
you
me show
like
you how this
that.
is done, because Ilya, this is not his first time around
Not
the
his first
penis.
rodeo.
He is
Perhaps his
experienced in
second
the
time. His
area,
second
yes,
rodeo.
because he was with the coach's son, because he likes
In
trouble.
Russia.
And so that's our first encounter for them. And it kind of goes from there. And again, the show jumps around a lot. There's other.
It's over 11 or maybe 10 years. I think Long Game
Yeah,
is
it's a
11 years in.
long time for them, our boys, to be together. Throughout the season, they're always watching each other's interviews. Like Ilya's very cocky and is like, "I'm gonna score 50 goals this season, like as a rookie." And then Shane's like,
They're
"I can't
like,
believe he says that."
I
Like,
they're like, someone said you were going to score 40 goals. He says, liar told you that. I said
you bet.
50.
I said 50. Wink
That is
at the
lie.
camera.
Liar told you that. Shirtless, winking at the camera. Shane is watching this on his BlackBerry phone.
Literally. Also, funny thing is, like, I think he goes from having a BlackBerry to having an iPhone, then back to a BlackBerry, which is like, who's
Okay.
doing that? Who's doing that? No one.
He probably got
Um,
a sponsorship for the
but yeah.
BlackBerry.
One of the things that apparently happens in hockey. Oh, actually, this is an important thing that we see in the first episode, which establishes perhaps why Ilya is the way he is. Which I don't understand people being like Ilya is. I mean, me literally, you say one bad thing about Ilya Rosanov, and I'm like,
leave Ilya
no, no, no,
alone.
no,
He's
no, no, no. You're
misunderstood.
actually you are not seeing my guy because you can't. Don't talk about my baby like that. Like literally,
Mm-mm.
fuck off. Like
I
I
don't want
can't
to hear it.
even like simple misunderstandings. Like, no, just
Not
don't even
around
bring it up
here.
to me. I'm very sensitive. Anyways, so we see Ilya get a call from his brother, who is an asshole. Biggest asshole on the show.
Alexei,
Like literally every other person on the show, great. Alexei, like fucking like
get him out of here.
just get him out of here. Well, I guess his dad's like soup, but it's complicated with his dad. So a little bit more forgiveness there. Alexei literally can just like go somewhere, like fall down a flight of stairs. That's what he deserves. But he's like yelling at Ilya and is like, hey, like I need more
Send me
money.
$20,000.
And Ilya's literally like, I gave you like my whole bonus, like, which is a lot of money when you're signing on to like a freaking professional sports team, like your bonus. So it's like, what the fuck is wrong with you, Alexei? Fuck off. Like, if this was me, I would have blocked his number, but he can't because his dad is sick with dementia. I don't remember if here we learned that, but we might, because he's like,
He's like, Dad
oh, why
called
is
and
dad calling
asked
me and
where,
asked,
like, if I'm
yeah,
bringing milk home or
home
something.
bread, yeah. And it's like, I don't live there, so why is he doing that? So it's hinting at, like, these family issues that Ilya comes with. So it's like, okay, maybe this is why he has such a front, There's stuff going on in his life. He's not
Yeah.
just an asshole for being an asshole's sake. Doesn't let people in. And then we get what apparently happens in hockey, where I was going earlier, which is all-star games. These are very big moments in the books and also in the show, because usually how all-star games work, I mean, I think all professional leagues do this, where it's like part way through the season, they have like the best of the best players come and show off how good they are at the sport. So in hockey, apparently it's usually the two conferences, which is the Eastern Western Conference, go against each other. But since Shane and Ilya have such a big rivalry, they didn't want them at their, first All-Stars game to be competing on the same team yet. They have it North American players versus European players. And they do a press conference, and there's a really cute moment because Ilya is not very good at the English at the time, and he gets this very complicated, very overdrawn, long question from a reporter, which is so annoying. Sometimes these people ask a stupid question. As Max Verstappen said, you ask a stupid question, you're going to get a stupid answer. But it's a long-winded question about, like, oh, how do you feel about coming into these teams that have such history but haven't won in a long time? Like, how are your feelings about that? And then Ilya doesn't answer yet because he's like, oh, I don't fucking know what that guy just said. And then Shane is like, oh, let me, like, speak up for Ilya. And he answers and then, saves him in that moment, which is very cute, very Shane. And under the table, they're just playing a little tap tap
which is very them. You see a lot of times in the show their little feet touching.
Then also importantly, at this All-Stars game, they compete against each other in an accuracy competition, which unbelievably they break Scott Hunter's record in this competition. Ilya breaks it immediately after Shane breaks it by a second, which is a huge amount of time. Yeah.
And then they're sitting next to each other at the ends of their respective benches. You guys, this is essential viewing. Shane is next to Scott Hunter of the New York Admirals on the bench, and Ilya's on the end of his bench. And they're, like, kind of talking to each other. Ilya's like, we could probably act it out, to be honest. This scene is so important. Ilya's like, did you have fun last night? And Shane goes, last night? And Ilya goes, get dinner, get drunk with your team. Yeah, I had fun. I mean, I didn't get drunk. And then Ilya's like, pfft. And then he's like, I had great time. No annoying Americans, no boring Canadians. He loves to call Shane boring. He gets off on it. And then he says, I don't think I'm going out tonight. I want to go to bed early. Shane's like, oh, yeah? And then he gets off the bench and skates past him and goes, 1-2-1. Out loud. Clearly anyone sitting by him can see it. You see
Scott Hunter
turns his head forward and looks at Shane like, what the actual fuck? What did Ilya want?
Yeah.
And he's like, he just wanted, like, he's just being an asshole. And Scott goes, his room's right next to mine. Which obviously he just heard him tell his room number to Shane.
Like, why are you telling him my room number? Like, basically, But anyway, so they meet up that night, have another of our beautiful encounters with each other.
Indeed.
And
Ilya wants to fuck Shane.
Yes,
Ilya wants to fuck Shane.
Again,
Shane nervous. And he doesn't want Scott Hunter to hear.
With Scott Hunter right next door.
Like, so Ilya says, okay, we'll do it next time. And Shane's like, what do you mean next time? He's like, we're playing against each other in 2 weeks. Are you homeless? Shane's like, I have an apartment. Ilya's like, perfect. We'll do it then. After they have their intimate time, Shane is like, I don't think we can do that. And Ilya goes, oh my god, you are so boring, Hollander. They call each other their last names exclusively, also, by the way. And he makes him give him his phone number. They save each other in their phones as Jane and Lily, which is obviously the feminine.
Really
Shane
there.
And Ilya.
Yeah.
Who could ever guess? These fucking idiots.
Also, no code speaking when they're texting each other. Somebody's looking at that like, like they're like talking about dick and
how many times can you come like sending cock pictures code. Even if anyone looked at their messages and was like, oh, you're texting this boy
it's
named
like, what
Lily.
Was the point of the fake names? But
stupid.
Anyway, so then we skip forward, we're excited, we're about to play each other, we're about to get it on fully for the first time, except snowed out.
It's snowing.
Can't go. No going into the Montreal. We can't play against each other. So the next time our boys see each other is at the NLH or whatever, MLH,
Awards.
Whatever. What is it called? Major League Hockey, yeah. Which I guess is at the end of the season, awarding, different achievements throughout the year.
Rookie of the Year, obviously, which is again showing their like built up rivalry from the media. And Shane wins Rookie of the Year, which is interesting because Ilya won, like, was the first draft pick. So it's kind of showing like they're right on top of each
Yes.
other.
Yes. In the books, we learn more that like they had literally like the exact same stats all season from the their first season. So it's like it really is just a
Who's gonna
toss up of
win? It
who's
could
gonna
really
get it.
go.
But also, like Shane tends to, as would make sense, be like more respected in the overall MLH community because he's like, you
Due
know,
to
a normal,
Canadian
upstanding
and nice.
person. Yeah, and nice and pleasant, and you know, Ilya's not. So it makes sense that he won that award. But then Ilya's not at the like party afterwards, you know, sulking up on the roof, doing a little smoky smoke, and Shane comes up being very bratty and is like, "What the hell? You don't even want to
I win one
celebrate
thing
me.
and
You
you don't want
can't,
to
yeah."
support me.
And
Not
also,
everything is about
like
you, Hollander.
the empty netters pointed this out as I was listening to them though, but like literally Shane has won everything since like their first game. So he's
No,
like,
because
you beat me at everything and you
Ilya
can't let me
was
have this
number
one
one
thing.
draft pick, and that's what
Yeah,
hurt
but I'm
him.
saying since then he's beaten him everything we see. He beat him at the competition at All Stars, he beats him in the game. He beat like after they were drafted, Canada comes back and beats them. Like I'm
Yeah,
like
that's true.
beats you at everything where? Like Shane, you are
When
actually
and where.
continuously on
Also,
top
before
here.
this, there is a
Except not really.
really funny scene where he a bottom. There's a really funny scene
Yeah.
where Scott Hunter of room 1222 is like, "Where's your boy Rosenoff? Like, let's all take shots together." And he's like, "My what?" Like, Shane, how obvious can you be?
Yeah, like
Everybody
Shane,
knows.
calm down.
Everybody
I
knows
mean,
that he
not that
fucks you.
Scott didn't already know because again, he just fucking
He
skated
heard
by
you.
you, given your room number. But
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
then they
just
kiss on the
really
roof
funny.
and then Shane gets mad, even though they're in an empty. It made more sense in the books because they're like at a party on this
There's
rooftop
like a
or like a
bar.
bar on this
Yeah.
rooftop with other people. But in the show, it's like an empty room with nobody in it. And then Shane's like,
And
"Well,
also,
we're in
he's like,
tuxedos and in public, you can
in
kiss
public.
me."
What did the tuxedos have to do with anything?
Yeah,
I always
it's
wonder
like
that. I'm like,
what?
why do
Also,
you
no
care
one's
about the
here.
tuxedos so
Not
much?
us in this room. But sure, Shane. And then they're just like, Shane pushes him off
And
of
then
him and is
Ilya
like,
says, "See you next
see you next
season."
season. Yeah. And that's the close of the
Fade to
first
black,
episode, which
created by Jacob
really
Tierney.
great start.
It's been an
What's really
hour.
good about this show is that it is very accurate to books. Like almost everything
Like
completely
the dialogue
accurate,
is exact.
like pulled straight from the books, which is really nice, especially I guess for the book readers. I'm sure people who have long before us been fans of the books much appreciated that. Longtime fans. Yeah.
Well, that's
Um,
episode 1. Episode 2 is more time jumpy. It's like showing their text to each other as Lily and Jane. They're sexting a lot. They're playing each other. The big thing that happens is they finally have like penetrative sex at
mhm.
Shane's apartment, which in the book he buys an apartment, an investment property,
Separately,
basically
yeah.
just for them to fuck in.
Like lives in a completely different place. And this one he's like, "Oh, I own the like one next door that I live in now." But in the books it is like he bought this random building
For
away
them to
from
fuck
his
in.
house so they could fuck, which is very funny. Very funny the first time Ilya goes to it and if he's like, "You're going to murder me," because it's in like Sketch
You will
Alley.
murder me.
And
And then
then they
Shane goes, maybe.
cute run up this, yeah. Yeah, because Ilya's taking too long, you know. Shane again,
He's like,
very
get
anxious,
inside.
very concerned about them getting caught. But yeah, then they run up the stairs, you know, being a little competitive, cheeky boys against each other. So that's a good
Ilya
scene
gets
from the
consent
second
throughout
episode.
their sex.
Yes,
Very
he's really the
cute.
consent king. All of our boys in these shows are consent kings,
They
which we
love
love.
it.
This
It's
one they're
very
at the
like
Olympics,
datey.
which
Oh yeah.
they
Yeah, like as if they're on a date, like, you know, Shane like walks him out. They're sitting on the stairs
oh, you're
talking and
saying this
kissing.
moment.
Yeah.
then we have this episode is called The Olympian, so it goes to the Sochi Olympics, and it really also gives us more background into Ilya. Again, my angel. I will hear no bad
My
words about
sweet,
him,
sweet
and we see
boy.
how difficult his life is, where he came from. His dad was like, "Oh, you're so lazy now." Like, well, because Russia loses to Latvia in their like first game or something, like very early on, does not make it to like podium at all. And his dad's like, "You have become lazy in the American League," like very disappointed in him, even though like he's such a good player, like makes him feel like shit, like calls him lazy, says he should have stayed in the Russian league, like very downplaying any of his accomplishments, which is very sad for our boy.
Poor
So,
baby.
and then he has to go and like do some shit with the Russian minister,
And
and
Shane's feelings get hurt because he's like, why is Ilya like not
yeah,
texting me
yeah,
back?
because
Like, why doesn't he want to talk to me while we're in Russia? But the reason is he's having a shit home life
yeah,
here.
exactly. Which also that is the thing that when he was smoking on the roof, from the first episode, when Shane first comes up, he's being brat boy and was like, "Oh, yeah, you couldn't celebrate me," and then Ilya's like, "No, everything is about you, Hollander," which Shane can be very
Period.
Shane centric, which like fair,
Oh
same,
my God.
but
In the
like,
long
why
game,
is no one calling that out? Like, why is no one coming for Shane's neck, but they be coming for my boy? So
leave Ilya alone. We're Ilya stands
literally
over
like,
here. That's my
do not
baby.
come for my man. Um, so yeah,
We also
we
meet
see that his dad's
Svetlana.
like very bad. We meet Svetlana, which is Ilya's. Well, actually, I think we did meet her in the first episode because she was like there
Oh, at the
when
apartment
he
after
could
the game
not
was
have
canceled.
sex with Shane. Yeah,
So
did
true.
get that satisfaction via her because we do have Viking Ilya.
Bye, King. Bye, King Ilya, Wasian King Shane.
Yes, and
Those are our
Svetlana
babies.
is a queen. Her dad was a goalie in the NHL, and
I
she
think
was
he was a
really
goalie in the Russian
intelligent.
league.
Or no, I think NHL because that's why she's American.
Oh, so
Yeah.
true.
Um, but he was Russian, so that's why she knows Russian and is like Ilya's best friend, which we love, iconic. Then we see this weird man who Ilya hooked up with in
Sasha.
Russia. Sasha, very forward, trying to sleep with Ilya, but
Ilya did
Ilya
not
doesn't
want
want
it.
to.
He's got another
Interesting.
man on his mind.
Interesting beat right there. Um, so
Who
then
wins the
this
Olympics? It's like they don't tell us,
America,
right? Oh,
and then
Scott
Canada got
Hunter.
second. I forget when I know how I know that. I think sometime it's mentioned that it might be from the books. Probably is that whatever Shane got silver there. So
Mm.
America, I think, wins that, and then we go to back to America and back to NHL world. And Ilya has really pushed himself so hard since the loss of the Russian Olympics that he is gonna go on to win the Stanley Cup this season. And our boy Shane
Mm-hmm.
gives such a good reaction as
He's
him and
crying on the
friends
couch.
are watching the game. He's not crying, but he gives like just so
Well,
much
he has
performance in his
yearning
face.
eyes.
Yes, the yearning in his eyes. He's like has a little smirk on his face, like very subtle because he's
Proud
with
of
all
Ilya.
his friends. He's like a little bit sad, you can see, because it's like I want to win a Stanley Cup, but like very proud of his boy. And then they go to the awards
Also,
for that year.
Shane like goes to the party at Hayden's house or whatever to watch the game, and he gives the host wine, and she's like, "What am I supposed to do with this?" And he's like, "My mom told me to bring wine." It's like, Shane, you are a grown up. You don't have to like get advice from your mom.
Yeah.
So
But
cute
yeah, that's
boy.
just who.
It's just Shane.
And then we go back to another year of the awards, and this year our boys are presenting with each other. Ilya is late to like their call before they go on stage. Shane's like, "You're late," and he's like, "I'm like, we still have some time, whatever."
25
And
seconds.
yeah, Yeah, Shane's like, we're on
Shane's
in five
mad at
seconds. He's like
him.
25. Very mad. He's like, I was busy. He's like, with who? Because Shane has not heard from him in like 6 months. So our,
He's
our boy is
pissed.
really feeling a little ghosted, a little hurt. His situationship is not being very nice, which again, understand
Valid.
like that he is upset, but also it's like dude was competing in the Stanley Cup, and a note that they do have in the Schmoop books is that they never talk to each other during playoffs
Mm-mm.
because it's like let's just
They're
focus on playoffs.
focused.
So,
Also,
so it's a
Shane is
less like
so upset and so mad and
yeah.
then folds in 0 seconds.
Oh yeah, very easily, very easily. They go on the stage, do like a stupid little bit, but then they meet up in the bathroom, and Shane's like, "I'm so mad at you," calls him out, and then is
He's
literally
like, "What
like,
do you
"I
even
want you to
want
suck my
from
dick,
me?
please." Yeah,
What do you even want from me?" And he's
and
like, "I would like you to suck my dick." And
yeah,
he's like,
yep,
"You
yep,
suck my dick.
exactly.
Ask nicely, please. Will you suck
You
my
suck
dick?"
my dick.
Very
Which
boy
very
fight.
funny. And Ilya's like, no, not on this dirty bathroom floor. And then they have a little bet with each other about who's gonna win MVP. And
Which,
Ilya's like,
Shane, be
well,
for real. Do you think you're gonna win MVP when Ilya just won the cup?
I know. I kept in the book. I was like, "Sir, like,
Shane.
you know it's going to Ilya, but okay, like you can have some hope." So obviously Ilya wins that. His part of the deal was like he could do whatever, or Shane will do whatever he wants. So then Shane goes to Ilya's room, and Ilya wants a show. Wants
And
a
so
show
Shane gives him
tonight.
a show.
Gives him a show.
Which people are
Watches.
like, Shane is down so bad. Like, why did he fold immediately after being ghosted for 6 months? And it's like, well,
Shane.
they're not dating. And also, Shane is
Shane is
so
very
obsessed with
funny.
him.
Yeah, I love him so much. It's very funny. It's so funny in the books. Like so often he'll be like, "I'm calling this off. I'm calling this off."
Putting his
I'm
jacket
going.
on,
Yeah,
leaving the room to go see
yeah.
it.
Like one of my favorites is like no, I absolutely cannot. I think it's when he texts him before the game. He's like, "No, we absolutely cannot do that. Like we play a game
Putting
against
my
each other.
jacket on,
So like
leaving the
tomorrow,
room.
absolutely not." And he's like, "I'm texting this as I am grabbing my stuff and walking out the door." And I'm like, "That is
He is
that's
down
so funny.
horrendous
So funny, so down bad. Like that Taylor Swift wrote that song about
about Shane
Hollander.
Hollander.
Like
And then he leaves the room in Vegas and writes a little text in the elevator. "We didn't even kiss." Ah,
which that is like, ugh,
Shane.
stab me in the heart. Like so sad, so precious. So then the next episode is a little tone shift again, as we mentioned before. Now we're in Skipland. Scott Hunter and Kip Grady, or maybe
Yeah,
something.
doesn't
Yeah, Kip
matter.
Grady. It is.
Kip is an
And
art
we follow
history
their
grad
story.
student, smoothie maker. He makes
Smoothie
smoothie
maker.
for
Yeah.
Admiral player Scott Hunter.
Yep.
And this, their story is like, people didn't like this episode because it's obviously not about Ilya and Shane, but it's essential to the plot as you find out later.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, there's this like running theme where they're all like so scared that they're gonna get outed because they like perceive themselves as so famous. And I'm like, I
Mm-hmm.
cannot name one hockey player. If I
No,
saw a
could
hockey
not
player
name
kiss
a
a man on
hockey
the street,
player.
I wouldn't know a thing.
Wouldn't know a thing, couldn't tell. I would be like, woo, gay on the
Yay!
street.
Hot gay
Gay, gay.
guys. Scott
I
is
guess
like,
I
I
get it
can't
a
like
little
go in
bit more
public
when
with
they're
you.
in. Yeah, I get it a little more when they're in Canada because, it's like the biggest sport in Canada. So it's kind of like football players. But granted, also, it's like you don't know all the football players. Like if it's
I
not a
would know
quarterback, like
any.
I don't know you. Granted, they are like the captains. So like fair when they're in Canada. Like you live in New York, sir. Like no one cares about you. I'm sorry. Like we have Harry Styles could be walking down the street. Like ain't
Paul
giving two shits about
Mescal.
what Scott Hunter is doing.
Who the fuck is
It's
Scott
funny.
Hunter?
The song they, have that plays over like their song, which plays in the beginning of this episode, and then at the end of, or when they ultimately show their relationship to the public, and Scott kisses him after winning the Stanley Cup. We'll get there, but that song, it's like and nobody knows you, and nobody gives a damn anyway. And I'm like,
Period.
facts.
Nobody
Like,
gives a damn
I'm
anyway.
like, for this, because it's like, no one knows you, sir. So yeah, follows them quick. It's like very rom-com-esque. It's more rom-com-esque. People were also
It's
mad
very
because it
like
doesn't go
meet
into
cute, then they're in
the
love.
books as much. Like, it's just crams the whole first book into one episode, and it doesn't
Which
get
I
into like
think
all of
makes
their
both
conflict.
characters come off
Yeah,
better. Because
I
they're both a
agree.
little
'Cause
annoying in the book.
I actually, again, I think Scott is also one. I'm like, he could do no wrong in my eyes. Like,
Oh, well,
Daddy
Kip
Scott,
annoys
yes.
me.
Kip, though, yeah, annoys the hell out of me because I'm like, dude, you just got the lottery ticket. Like, one scene of the book, Scott, for his birthday, gives him a check for all of his student loans. Paid off,
50,000
bam,
US dollars.
easy.
And he's like, tear it
And
up.
Kip's like, no, I can't take that. Bitch!
Yes, you can. I'll take it.
It's so frustrated because it's like, okay, I get it. Like, you want to be like, I don't want to be paid for this. This is weird. Like, power dynamic in our relationship, sure. But it's like, to Scott, it's not that big of an
To
deal. Like,
Scott,
this
it's
man makes
nothing.
millions and $1 million a year. Like, to him, it is nothing. It is getting you like,
Also,
any basic
Kip
gift.
is all like, oh, I like can't tell my parents, I can't tell my friends about you. I'm sad.
Yes.
Let him pay you for your sadness. And also, if I was
Exactly.
dating a closeted hockey player, I would be like, oh, I'm dating a closeted hockey player
Yes.
to all my friends.
Yeah, Kip makes things really hard on himself in the book. Like, he's living in Scott's house, he like doesn't leave, and he's like, well, I can't tell anybody about this, so I can't talk to any of my friends.
I wish
so
I
don't
could
want
have
to see
dinner
any
with
of
my
them because I'm
dad.
lying
You
to them.
can.
And, like, just go and be like, hey, I'm seeing this man in the city. We don't need more details than that.
It's private.
Talk to your
like,
friends and be like,
it's fine.
I'm
Also,
dating
whenever
somebody who's
Scott's
closeted,
gone,
so
he's like, I'm so lonely, like alone in Scott's penthouse. You can go to your parents' house.
yeah,
You can still go out.
Yes.
Anyway,
Yeah,
that's why
so
Kip annoys
so big
us.
gay
Scott's
bar,
like,
and
I
Scott's like, I
can't.
can't. Which,
People will
again, like,
recognize me. No, they won't.
I don't think it's immediately like, you're seen at a gay bar, you're gay.
You're gay.
Like, yeah.
Also, no one at the gay bar is gonna recognize you. But that's
Anyways.
episode 3. We got the Kip and Scott Hunter story,
Mhm.
which is very funny. Also, you see Scott play against the Boston team and the Montreal team, and
Yes,
he
this
gets in
is
a fight
important.
with Shane, which is really funny because Shane's like, would be nice if you
Well,
show up
first
to play
he
us.
played Boston, and Ilya's an asshole to him. Typical.
Yeah,
Also
Ilya's
really
like,
cute Ilya as he welcomes all of his teammates back to their
I
bench
love
is
you.
like,
I love you.
I love you,
I
I
love
love you.
you.
But then he's like, it's too bad you can't play at home every game, Scott.
It's
and,
better for you,
is
right?
all to
Because
him, yeah.
Scott is winning at home because he has Kip
Mhm.
making him smoothies.
Yes,
And
yes,
Scott's like,
yes.
go fuck yourself, Rosenoff. And Ilya says, it's more fun when you're there.
Yeah.
And then we see the next
Classic.
night, they play Montreal. And Shane is like, it'd be nice if you show up next time we play. And then Scott's
also,
like,
Shane
harsh.
goes up unconfrontational and is like, just like,
He's kind
being
of
so,
nice
like,
about
because
it.
they're kind of friends. Like,
it
they
would be
watched
nice
the
if you
Olympics
showed up
together.
to play.
Yeah, they've played on the All Stars team together. Like, Scott is not having it though. You know? And
Scott
he says,
goes, you're starting to sound like him.
yeah, which it's like, what? And Shane's like,
what the fuck does that mean?
What did you say? What the fuck did you just say? He's like, you heard me,
You
Hollander.
heard me,
You
Hollander.
fucking heard me, Hollander.
And then they get in a
we
fight.
cut to watching, or Kip's watching it with his dad. Like, the teammates are holding Shane. Also, this was after the game had already ended.
And Montreal
holding
won.
Shane and
Why
Scott
is
away
Shane
from each
fighting?
other. Yeah. Well, again, Shane just went up and was like giving him a light jab, and Scott.
It's literally. Shane's like, it would be cool if we got to play a better game together. And
yeah.
Scott is like, here's your biggest secret exposed.
Yeah, literally. Like,
how about I fucking out you right now?
Yeah, like, okay, like, tonal shift. Like,
so
definitely
funny.
not the same level. Yeah, we've cut and Kit's watching it with his dad, and the teammates are keeping them from fighting each other, and the announcers are like, has Shane Hollander ever fought anybody? Because
no,
he hasn't.
And that's episode 3, basically.
That is episode 3, pretty much. Yeah,
with Kip's birthday.
Should we do waiting outside like a creeper? What's weirder? You going into the gay club for your friend's birthday, or you watching from the outside into a window like a weirdo?
Also, the bar where Kip is hanging out all the time, the Kingfisher, the little like bartender is named Kyle, and you see Shane's friends being like, "Thank you, Kyle. Thank you, Kyle."
Thank you,
And Kyle
Kyle.
has
Also,
his own
Kyle.
book. Kyle
Hard for
has
me
a
to
book,
root for
indeed.
Kyle and his own book because I was obviously a Skip fangirl, and in Skip's book, Kyle fucking kisses Kip during him and Scott's like time apart, and
Oh
I'm like, what the
yeah,
fuck,
I
Kyle?
hated
And then
that.
Kyle has like an endless
Anti-Kyle.
crush on
And then
Kip,
Kyle
and
has
I'm
his
like,
own damn book.
Kyle, fucking get over it. And you get a nice daddy hockey player, so like stop. Stop, Kyle.
Yummy, Eric
I didn't
Bennett.
love that. Okay, so well that's our recap and thoughts for the first 3 episodes. We will continue on next time with the rest.
With episodes 4, 5, and 6, which is everyone's favorite collection of episodes.
Yeah, this is when it gets really good. One of these episodes is like the highest ranking episode of TV ever on
Really?
IMDb, I guess. Yeah.
Wow.
I think it's on IMDb.
We have a few more things to cover, which are what we've been reading lately. We have been reading the Game Changers series. What we've been listening to lately. I actually have nothing to report other than I am listening to exclusively Harry Styles in preparation for Kiss All the Time and Disco Occasionally.
You see, my life has been consumed by this show. So I've just been listening to the soundtrack nonstop, but I also listen to a little bit of Lily Allen. Sneak some Lily Allen in there because I'm obsessed with her new album. So good. We'll have to have an episode where I break down all of the drama there. Even though it's like old news, but it's really good drama.
And then our favorite man of the week, or who we wouldn't kick out of bed, which could be Hudson or Connor. Two
Truly
beautiful
any
men.
man. I'm
I
only
would not
attracted
kick
to
any
gay
character
men.
out
Well,
of bed,
granted, I
other
don't
than
know
Alexi.
their sexual life, but
in the show, they're
show,
gay. We love a gay man.
they're gay, and I love
And
them. Love them.
Ilya, that's for everybody.
Yeah, that is true. I kept telling him while we were watching it together, I was like, he's too hot to be just for one team. Like, there's just no way.
The reason he's bisexual is because we all
Yeah.
he couldn't hold back. We all need him.
Has to be. Like, and also it's funny because in the books everybody thinks Ilya's gay. Like, whenever any of these other hockey boys come out, they're like, "Oh, you're fucking." Tell me it's not Rosanov that you're fucking. Like, everybody.
Yeah, when Scott is coming out to his
vibe.
friends, everyone's like, "You're dating Rosanov," and he's like, "No, I'm dating a barista."
No. But it's
and
like,
also in every single book,
Ilya's
the
like
closeted, the closeted gay hockey player, Ilya's like, "Oh, are you fucking that guy? Oh, where's your boyfriend?" And they're all like, "How do you know this about me?"
And that is why he is my little angel, and I love him so much.
We love him so much.
I will be receiving no criticism ever.
If you have something negative to say about Ilya Rosanov, just know you're wrong.
Yeah, you're wrong. Keep it to yourself. Don't share those thoughts.
Nobody needs to hear that.
Here. But yeah, that's our episode for the week. We'll come back next week for more Heated Rivalry discussions.
Yep. We love you guys. Thank you for listening. We love Ilya Rosanov. We do love Shane Hollander, even when he's being really annoying in the long game.
Yeah. I love Shane. No, I love Shane.
No, I do love Shane. It's true. I love Shane.
I do love Shane. Like, let's get it correct. I do love him as well. Just,
there's something special about Ilya. Yeah.
People think fucking Ilya put him through shit. Bitches.
Oh, bitch. Get ready.
And see
Get
for
ready.
This second season. Because holy shit.
And that's our episode.
That's the episode. That's the show. See you guys. Bye.
Bye.